Hey everybody, it's Sadie here. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. Um, if you can hear construction outside, I apologize. There's like tons of houses going up in my area. And also it's probably like my fifth time trying to record this narration because my cat keeps getting crazy and trying to attack me and stuff. And then also my family's dog just started barking like crazy. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. If he starts barking, I might have to just keep it because I don't think I have time to try recording this again, but we'll see. So anyways, this video, you probably can tell, is a bit different from my other videos. For my channel avatar, I needed to have both a normal sized version and a chibi version. I didn't want to make two different videos. I didn't want to make an extra long video where I do the one speed paint and then the other. Since it's the same character design, that's just like, it's super repetitive. So I decided to do a split screen instead, which doesn't mean that you can't see like what tools I'm clicking and what I'm doing with layers and other stuff, but I thought that was better than having a super long repetitive video. Since they are the same character design and the chibi came second, chibis are already easier. And then when I'm doing the same design and I just did all the coloring for the one character, I know exactly how it's, or pretty much exactly how it's going to go for the chibi. So it went much faster, probably at least an hour faster. I think the regular video is sped up by 800%, where the chibi video is only sped up by 1200% because it didn't have as much footage, so it wasn't sped up as much. So this video I've been stressing about for a while. Like my recent videos, like the Garden Witch design and the Valentine's, which was completely last minute, those were just fun. I'm not going to say like they didn't stress me out at all. They did a little bit, but they're mostly like relaxing and fun to do. But this video, I guess I was putting a lot of importance on it because it's the channel avatar and it's what's going to be representing the channel for the next few years. I don't want the channel, like, it's okay if the avatar changes a little bit over the years. That's normal, but I don't want it to be changing drastically a bunch every couple of years because you tend to associate an image with something and then when it changes that can put people off. So the old avatar, like, I'll show it right here. This is what the previous avatar was. I didn't really put very much thought into it. I made it when I was like 16. I was getting kind of obsessed with the Japanese Lolita fashion style, so I kind of took some inspiration from that when I made it. And I just don't feel like I don't identify with this avatar really. It doesn't really fit the image I want for the channel. Like I'm probably going to be doing a lot of fantasy and magic based artworks. I mean, obviously like the Valentine's Day video wasn't, but most of the art on this channel is probably going to be like some kind of fantasy theme somehow. So I felt like the old avatar, I still like kind of like it and I think it's cute, but I don't think it fits what I want for this channel. So I decided that I needed to make a new one, but I had no idea what I did want. I bounced back and forth between doing something that more closely like resembles me in real life or doing something like fancy, like some kind of like princess or royalty or something. All I knew is that I kind of wanted it to be like cool and powerful, which of course it means different things to different people and in different circumstances. So that's pretty vague of an idea to go off of for a character. Like I was bouncing around, maybe I want to do like some kind of princess with super fancy clothes or like a more modern girl with like cargo pants and combat boots and like I was gonna maybe give her hair based off like this wig that I got that's like half blue and half pink or something. But no matter what I thought of, like none of the ideas felt like the perfect one. I tried sketching a few different things and in the end like I went through a bunch of my old pins on Pinterest to get inspiration, like just different things of that I'd saved of outfit designs and stuff. And then I just grabbed some references, started pulling together, and decided to just start sketching because if I didn't start sketching, I was just going to keep going between different ideas and never get anything done. So first I picked out a pose, and then I started looking at clothes, and I pulled some things together and got the outfit. And while I was working on the outfit, I had no idea what the hair was going to look like. So I finished the outfit, and then I looked at different references for hair and stuff, and then I figured out what the hair was going to look like. And then even once I'd finished like the clothes and the hair, I still didn't know what color scheme it was gonna be. So I knew that I wanted it to be on the cool side of the color spectrum mostly, and that was it. So I just started grabbing some colors and messed around with stuff until I got a color palette for that. And even once I had something, once I started actually coloring the character, some of those colors changed slightly, which is pretty normal. And then I didn't know whether I wanted her to be a cat girl, but also I kind of liked a lot of clothing designs that had hoods on them. Um, and I didn't want to have cat ears and a hood. Just, I wanted to choose one or the other. I ended up choosing to do the cat ears because, I mean, her name, like Sadie, the name Sadie, I got it from the word cat, so it just makes sense for her to be a cat girl. So yeah, I ended up with a cat girl and I gave her clothes like a slightly fancy design because I did decide, and I moved away from the more modern idea and went with more of like, I mean, she's not really like a princess or anything, but it is more like fantasy side, which I think fits like the type of art that I'm going to be doing. So she kind of has like the fancy design on her overcoat, and then I don't know why I gave her a scythe. I don't know. I don't know why. Um, I guess I thought it was cool. And I do like how it turned out, although honestly, I probably like her dagger more like in her little chibi version where she's holding her dagger. I kind of just like daggers. Um, Also, I don't know why, but like, I guess this is a sign that I really like the design because when I was done, I was like, hey, this would actually be a fun character to uh, cosplay. I don't know if that's weird, but. Anyways, so as I usually do, I'll mention some things that I had difficulty with while I was working on this. First, the gold detail on her overcoat. So I did the whole liner, including those details, in on a vector layer in a dark brown. And then usually, like if I like in the past, if I wanted to change some of the line art, I used to do it like resolution based, so with pixels and stuff. So then I could just lock transparency of pixels and then recolor the parts that I wanted to recolor. But you can't lock like pixel transparency with vectors because it's vector, there isn't pixels. So I did find in the settings that there was like change color line. I don't remember the exact setting. But I decided to use that, but of course I can't do that for the whole layer. I don't want the whole line art to be gold. I just wanted the specific details. So probably I should have done those details just on a different layer from the beginning, so it would have been easier to deal with. But oh well, I guess. So I had to go through and carefully select everything and then change it to gold, and then in the end that didn't matter because I rasterized the whole thing anyways so that I could make the details look more gold-like and metallic-like instead of just like an orangey yellow. So speaking of like metallic-like, doing a metallic texture in Clip Studio was a bit different than Photoshop. I mean, I'd have to get into Photoshop and try to do it. I don't really remember how I used to do it in Photoshop, but when I was trying to do it in Clip Studio, I noticed that I was having some difficulty. Like maybe I can't remember, but I probably used some kind of tool that only exists in Photoshop or something. So I had to do the process a bit differently, but I do like how it came out. It's pretty similar to how I would do metallic texture on other stuff. I usually just I do like a thicker line in the highlight color and then a thinner line, and sometimes I'll repeat that in a couple places depending how much metal there is, kind of to show like the shine of the metal. And then for Clip Studio, I grabbed the airbrush and then I over like the lines where I had the highlights, then I did a very light airbrush of that light color as well. And then also some darker color in other areas, kind of to show how the light was reflecting differently. And then the gemstones was pretty difficult. I mean, I'm still not 100% happy with how they look. I probably need more practice learning how to digitally paint gemstones because I don't really have any, and trying to get that specific like texture and how the light bounces off like the crystals and stuff. It's not like something that I don't know. It's not something I can do super quickly and learn super quickly. So I tried a little bit. I pulled up some references and just tried to do a little bit of that to get it to show more that it's a gemstone a little bit more than maybe it would have like in my past artworks. And then the last thing that I'll mention is the chibi hair highlights, and then working with like shading and gradients. So in the regular version, first I started out with just a flat white color for the hair, and then I did the shading, and then I added a gradient on top of that. And the problem with doing a gradient after you do your shading is if you pick too dark of a color for one part of the gradient, it will end up covering up all the shading that you did because it just blends in, and then you have to redo the shading. And so for the chibi, I was like, okay, I already know what colors I want for the gradient because I've already done the hair on the regular size character. So I just took that gradient and moved it over to the chibi, and then I did the shading. But the problem is that when I do the shading, if I got some of it in a spot where I didn't want, then I have to recolor that in with the main color. But the main color is a gradient, so I can't just color pick in one spot and color in the whole mistake because the color is constantly changing since it's a gradient. And I guess one way to fix that would have just been to do a separate layer for the shading. In both cases, whether I wanted to do the gradient second and the shading first or the other way around, having the shading on a separate layer is going to stop it from being affected by the gradient. But I try not to have too many layers. When I first started out doing like digital painting and stuff, I would have lots of layers, a highlight layer for the skin, and then the skin base color, and then the skin shading, and I'd do that for like every single piece. Every single thing would have a different layer, and sometimes I'd even have like, oh, this is my cell shading layer, and this is my airbrush layer, and but the more layers you have, just the more mistakes you're prone to make by coloring on the wrong one. I do that even when I only have like 4 layers, and this piece actually had a lot more layers than I've done recently because I did do like a separate skin layer and a separate clothing layer and stuff, which was helpful, but I didn't go so far as to have like all the shading and highlighting and base color. They're all on one layer for each aspect of the character. Where like the Garden Witch, I think I had 2 coloring layers, the character coloring and the background coloring. So, which was a bit, I think I like having it somewhere in the middle where I have several layers, but like not too many. Anyways. And so I think that's really all I have to say for this artwork. My next video is probably going to be some fan art. I'm not going to say what fan art. You'll have to watch or wait for the video. But I'm thinking I want to alternate between more time-consuming videos that require lots of thought like this one and more easy, relaxing ones so that I can keep making videos without getting burnt out or like having a totally messed up upload schedule. I mean, I don't really have an upload schedule right now, and it's already kind of messed up because of university. I'm not putting all of my creativity and energy into this channel. I have to put some of that into other projects that I care about for school. And so that's already making my upload schedule messed up. And I don't want it to get even more messed up if I keep trying to do these over-the-top videos. And then maybe I do a bunch of easy ones. So I don't want to have like 3 videos in 1 week and then not have a video for 2 months. I want to get like at least a couple videos out every month. So by doing like a video like this that takes a bit more time, and then I can take a break from doing that and put some more energy back into school, other schoolwork that I'm doing, and maybe make an easier video like a fan art, which still requires some planning, like what character, how many characters, poses, and all of that. But the character itself is already designed. There's already a personality behind it. So it doesn't take nearly as much thought as doing something like off the top of my head. So yeah, I'm probably going to start doing things like that, or maybe just like quick videos that are more fun and like not a lot of thought goes into them. I just kind of do it spontaneously like the Valentine's Day video. And then after the fan art video, I probably am going to do our harder video again. It's probably going to be the sound story continuing off of Sadie's beginning. Those take a lot of time, so I'm not sure how long it's going to take to make that, but on top of the speed paint, I have to write the story and record the narration and find sound effects if I want them and other things and edit all that together on top of the editing for the speed paint. So those take twice or 3 times as long. So I'm not sure how long it will take for that video to come out. But that's the plan for the next couple of videos. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say. So here are the final versions of my avatar and the chibi version. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing, and I hope you all have a nice day. Bye!